The Nathan, Nat and Shaun podcast.
We've learnt one thing on this planet. It's not easy being a certain thing, is it? You can play that now, David.
Oh,
God, I cannot.
easy.
I cannot with you.
Being
It's
green.
boss.
It's
not easy being green.
It's not easy
it's not easy
paneling,
being Dave
apparently.
McClung. Right, that was... You're hot on the buttons there, Dave.
We'll air check that later. This is ridiculous. We've heard over the years about green thumb thieves, plant theft. A new one happened in Australand. A couple have found themselves a victim of a bizarre theft of foliage on Wednesday last week. The pair, they don't want to be named. They don't want to be named. They don't
Victim
want
one, victim
they don't
two.
want all these green thieves knowing their names.
No.
They went to find 4 holes dug in their front garden with several of their mature plants nowhere to be found.
Yeah, and so they're mature. They were like...
Yeah.
Quite big, weren't they?
Yeah, biggies.
So somebody's really worked hard and probably brought a trailer.
Natalie, they're the most impressive plants, and they're missing after spending the last 2 years developing their front garden into what they've called a native plant oasis.
Oh.
And there's no photos of it too. I was really ready to lose myself in the oasis.
No, because they don't want to show other people what they've got because they'll come and steal it.
When they moved in, it was a sea of red bricks. They dug it all up, mulched it, they made it water-wise.
Yes.
And they did it not only for themselves but for the enjoyment of the community.
And the planet. Don't forget the planet.
Yep. They said that when they saw that there were 4 holes, they went, oh, wait, there maybe there was something like nature, like foxes or something.
Okay.
And then they saw upon a closer inspection that the plants were surgically removed. In a hit and run throughout the night. Some people down the bottom as well, in the comments section, John M., right? This is a Perth Now article. This is local. We had a thief roll up several years ago with his female accomplice in the front seat of our sedan into our driveway. He got out with a shovel in his hand. He was even seen by people walking on the footpath nearby, digging up our rose garden from near the front of our house.
Not the roses.
This guy even had the audacity to wave at the pedestrians who witnessed him like he had no care in the world. Then Leonard H. said, I planted a standard rose tree in Dianella once, and as I didn't trust the neighbours in the area, I put a chain around it and secured it to a boulder.
Is this what we have to do now? We have to chain up our roses. That's crazy.
Oh, how do I get through the chain? Wait, I can just go through the bush. I can just cut through that. Chain's not going to stop you. Anyway, Bella, this morning.
Hello.
First time on air for our show. She's very nervous. She told her not to break it.
Yeah.
I'll try.
Bella, we said, is green thumb thievery happening a lot in Perth?
It is. It happened to me.
How long ago?
Talk us through it. What happened?
Like a couple weeks ago. We have these people. Our bin night is Thursday night, right?
Yeah.
I think it may be some local youths.
The worst kind of youths. Local youths.
Has anyone got local youths in their area? 13, 24, 10.
They have been coming down the street and pushing everyone's bins over.
Oh.
So the rubbish all over the road. Apparently it's funny. Anyway.
Yeah, it is.
And my partner was really annoyed. He was looking at our little peephole in the front door, and he's like, I think they're in our front yard. And I was like, surely not.
No.
That's so random. Why would they do that? I woke up the next day and I was looking out the front window, and this beautiful, fresh butterleaf lettuce that we had been growing had been taken. They had reached over our fence, grabbed it off the lattice, the pot and everything.
You had lettuce on a lattice?
Yeah.
Amazing.
Lettuce.
Ran down the road, tried to find it. Maybe they threw it in a bin or something, honestly.
No, they took it home to make a salad,
Yeah.
obviously.
The youths.
My thing with growing a lettuce is it's such a lot of effort, and then it's gone in 1 second.
No, they grow pretty easily.
Do they? How long does it take to grow a lettuce?
Yeah.
It had been growing for a couple months.
What
and
about
then
lettuce? Is it quicker?
It fast tracks the process.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've grown lettuce, and you can just go out and pick a few leaves, Nathan, and then
It does
make
go
your
back
salad.
quite fast.
Yeah.
How many more lettuces? Leti? I don't know. What's the plural? How many more lettuces did you have at the front? Just the one butternut lettuce?
No, we had another one, but we've now lowered all of the plants
So
so they
out
can't
of
be...
eye.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Have you thought about putting a chain around them and chaining that to a boulder?
Shouldn't have, you're right. In this day and age, you shouldn't have to chain up your lettuces.
What area are you living in?
I'm in Nedland.
Oh, this is
In Nedland?
That's fancy.
No.
The youths are stealing lettuce in Nedland.
There are a lot of uni students in Nedlands, though. Maybe there's, they're at risk of getting scurvy. So
It wouldn't be the locals. All those families come from money. They've got lettuce money. That's insane.
All right, we want to talk about green thumb theft. Have you been a victim of it?
Yeah.
Ashley's in Midland. Hi, Ash.
Hi.
Hi,
Have you been a victim of green thumb theft?
I have.
What happened?
So I was
due for a rent inspection, and I checked my security cameras to see if she'd come and gone. But what I seen on there was her taking plants from my backyard. The rent inspection.
The property manager came and took plants from your backyard and stole them.
Yeah.
So the whole plant, like, did she dig them out? What did she do?
Or were they in pots?
Like half plants. So like she took some that were in pots and then like she cut bits off ones and
took some cuttings.
Different kinds of
I thought if someone wants to take a cutting, I think that's okay. But then again, if everyone wants to take a cutting,
that's
you'll
right.
come home, your frangipani tree's gone.
Yeah, you have to ask about a cutting. Yeah.
Okay, but if the cutting's hanging over someone's fence, I feel like
that legally you can do.
Legally can do that. So did you confront her with this?
I asked her about it the next time she did an inspection. She goes, yeah, I took some, and I was like, well, I don't think you're allowed to do that.
So she's in a position of power, though.
But now she no longer works there.
Right, okay, right.
Because she owns a Waldex. And it is thriving. She gets her plants at really low costs.
That's amazing, isn't it? Just the audacity.
I'm sorry, the way she was like, I took them.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, sorry. 1,000 apologies.
Thanks, Ash. Ricardo, hello.
Hello.
Hey, Ricardo.
Have you been...
Hey, buddy. Yeah, good, mate.
Have you been a victim of green thumb theft, Ricardo?
Yeah, and it's been very funny also. So it happened a few years ago, but I'm still laughing about it.
Yeah.
And this one is regarding me and my ex-girlfriend. We used to live together in this house with a massive, nice veranda. We had a lot of collection of cactus. And she knew that I was loving this big, tall, green, very healthy with the yellow, big, long spike yellow.
Yes.
And when we break up, I remember one day my dog started to move his tail at the door, so I noticed someone was on the veranda. And I just started to spying outside, and I noticed in my ex-girlfriend that she came in the front yard. And it was so funny seeing her try to grab a massive cactus, and she was getting hurt. And I could not stop laughing. So she was trying in different ways. Yeah, exactly, correct. I didn't have my phone with me, otherwise I was even feeling. So she put all the clothes around. She tried to grab her. She was but in the end, she drove on the floor. She broke the vase and she dragged the cactus in her car. So she left all the.
So she didn't want anything else from you, but she was taking that goddamn cactus.
She was. Apparently, she was very angry on me, and she was kind of.
She showed you.
So she really wanted that one, and I was like. I let her take him because it was so funny, the situation. You can have it.
You know what? She earned it. Yeah. She earned that cactus. That was some comedy gold.
Some plaster as well, some bandits if you want.
If you go, I got to steal a cactus, you need PPE, is what we're learning from this. Oh, Ricardo, that story had everything. Thank you. We'll finish up with Melissa from Coolbellup. Hello.
Hi.
Hey, Mel.
Mel, okay. Have you been a victim of green thumb theft?
Yes. There was a lady. She was stealing my plants and all the other neighbours' plants as well, and I think some people over the other streets as well.
Yes.
She was actually going down to the local supermarket and sitting out front, and she was selling the plants. So she was stealing.
So she just set up a stall, so you could buy your stuff back again.
But she chose to do it in the local area where she was stealing the plants from.
Yes, she was.
She was actually pretty well known. I've seen this on the community Facebook groups because, she was famous for it, wasn't she?
Yes, she was.
Yeah.
I cannot
Isn't that
say
amazing?
I am in love with her. Just the audacity. It's like our neighbour over the road, right? I'm going to say allegedly because we never... Oh, no, yeah, it's allegedly. Took
it's
our
alleged
bins.
that he's over the road?
No, allegedly took our bins. Allegedly took one of our yellow bins. And but I see him use it all the time. He still uses it. We literally know it's that bin.
He puts it out every week.
He's got an extra bin that he's supposed to. It's a bigger bin that belongs to an apartment block, not a residential bin. He doesn't have any right to have it because residents don't get those size bins, and he still wheels it out to use it. He just took it one day, just wheeled off it. Wheeled off.
Well, it's right there.
People that just take people's stuff.
I mean, this lady, Melissa, it must have felt like she was harvesting. I'll just go and harvest some things and then sell them. That's, I mean, it's brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah, it was just, I couldn't believe it.
What plant did she take from you? What plant did she take?
Well, I had like palms and stuff out the front. She was just cutting them off and then putting them in. It was a mixture of native plants.
She's got everything. She's got a lot of customers. You don't know what her customers want. She's got a whole range of people buying from her.
Oh, thanks, Melissa.
It's the Nathan, Nat and Shaun podcast.
So you know when you're at the shops, right? And
hang on.
You're at the shops.
Familiar.
You're at the shops,
yep.
And then you hear a noise coming from a few aisles over, and someone smashed something.
Well, that sounds close.
No. You go, that's terrible.
Oh, no, yeah. Who's that massive loser who's just smashed something in the shop?
Yesterday, that was me at Target and Subiaco.
Oh, Nathan.
I was at the side
What
plates.
are you doing smashing...
Great wedding. My big fat Greek wedding.
Are you a bull in a china shop? What are you doing?
I was at the side plates because I need a saucer for one of my pot plants, and it didn't come with a saucer.
Oh God, I'm sorry.
I was looking for a side plate that would match it
for your suffering.
Yeah, it was a lot. There's something on my to-do list.
Yeah,
that I was trying to get ticked off. And so then I picked up this plate. Now I thought I put it back properly, and I didn't. And
you just threw it on the ground instead.
No, it hit my shin, and then it smashed on my shin.
Oh, so are we suing Target?
This is the start of my class action lawsuit. So anyway, I felt terrible. So I was like, straight away picked up all the pieces.
Because you know the rule. I've seen the sign.
Yeah,
you break it, you bought it.
At $3.50, I was fine. So the guy came over. It was a bargain. Everything's a bargain. It's basically came out number 2, really.
Yeah, well, it is. Same people.
The guy came out of nowhere with a dustpan and shovel and said, "Oh, I'm so sorry." And I said, "No,
he got that in the laundry department."
Yeah, it's not your fault. I said, "No." I said, "I'll offer to pay." And he goes, No, you're fine.
But it was your fault, though, wasn't it?
It was my fault.
Yeah, right. Okay, yeah. just double checking.
Yeah. So, and I offered to pay, and he said, "No, that's fine." But and then I thought, and that's great, and also it was $3.50.
Yeah.
But we've seen signs in shops where it says you break it, you buy it.
Because if it's not $3.50, if you're in a proper fancy china shop and it's Villeroy and Bosch or something or Royal Dalton and you drop a plate, that's $160.
Well, it's like when my brother was little. When my brother was little, my mum took her eyes off Graydon for a second, and then she turned around and she was like, "Where is he?" And he was just in the door in the door of a bridal shop, and he'd just done a poo under a wedding dress and was patting the veil down on top of it.
Yeah, well, you wouldn't want anybody to see that.
Really squash it down there. So, but like in that situation, I would 100% say you would have to pay for that dress.
Yeah, or at least the cleaning fee.
No, but you can't go selling a dress after a kid's been stamping their poo in it and then act like it's all fine because you take it to the dry cleaners.
Hi, I'm here to pick up my dress. What's that brown stain?
That's weird.
Yeah, but that would be thousands of dollars.
Yeah. We want to talk about if you've been in a situation where you have been in a retail environment, or maybe it was at a museum or an art gallery.
Yeah.
But
we saw that kid break the pot the other week.
But you've broken something and they've told you that you have to pay for it.
Yeah. You broke it, you bought it.
And if you work in a retail place, if you had to have that conversation with the customer, or is these days, is it just whatever, if someone breaks something, they can just leave?
I mean,
I don't know what the rules are these days.
Insurance should cover it,
surely,
but also just manners, you should offer to pay for it.
But there's some like small bricks and mortar stalls. My mum and dad run shops. They might be able to afford all that.
Kerry, hello.
Hi, guys. How you going?
Kerry, good. Kerry, we're wondering if you broke it, you bought it, is a thing still.
My kids did not break it. They certainly wrecked it.
Wow.
So I went up to the local shops and I left the kids outside with their father. And we had been watching the local florist do a beautiful display, Easter display outside. And we'd been watching it for a couple of days, and she'd gone to meticulous trouble. Anyway, I went in the store. When I came out, my middle child had this shirt up with a lot of things stuffed into the shirt. I was like, "What have you got in there?" And she's like, "Look." And she had pulled all the chickens, those little fluffy chicks?
Yes.
The woman had stuck them onto all these Easter eggs, and she had removed every single one. So I'm trying to stick them back on, realising that there's no recovery from this.
Yes.
And I was thinking, do I do a runner? And then out of the corner of my eye, she comes out, because she obviously thinks someone's going to buy something. And she's looked at her display and gone like this, and she goes, "You have to pay for that."
Did she?
We can't eat dairy. We're not going to even eat them. And she's like, "Well, you have to gift them." And in my head, I'm like,
dairy.
"Yeah, everyone's going to want my Easter eggs covered in my kids' pory little hands with dead chicks stuck back on the top of it." So, yeah, I think it ended up costing us between $50 and $60 to lay eggs, which I could have gone to Kmart and probably got for 20.
I suppose...
Kerry, this is on your husband, though, because he was supposed to be supervising. What was he doing?
He didn't even notice. And the child had been noticing these chicks for some days. I think she'd plotted it.
She'd been eyeing them off.
This is the thing about you. The mother knows that the kid has been eyeing up for days. Fathers they just seem to be very oblivious to what's going on.
Oblivious.
Yeah.
And where was the father? He'd done a runner.
Did he? As soon as she started walking over, he took off.
Yeah, it took off with the other two kids because the other two kids were like, this is not going to end well.
Can I say, there's something I really enjoy about couples together, and whether it be he or her, or, if it's same sex, either one of you, that take off when someone needs help or is in drama or something for one's happening.
Or they're getting in trouble.
If you're banning your partner, it's so funny.
Thanks, Kerry. Mel, hello.
Hi, how you going?
Great,
good,
Mel. Okay, did you broke it, you bought it, count in your case?
Yes.
What happened?
We were down in Bustleton and we were getting the jetty, like the train up to the end.
Yeah.
And we were sitting in the gift shop and I was watching my 5-year-old making sure she doesn't touch anything. My partner was looking at magnets or something, and then I hear this crash, and I was like, oh, my God. I'm holding my 8-month-old, and she had pulled down a whole shelf of mini mermaid figurines.
Oh, breakable figurines, I take it.
It was a mermaid massacre, Natalie.
They were probably like 5 centimetres tall, because some of them were sitting and stuff, and there was about maybe 14 of them.
Slaughtered.
8 of them had their heads gone. The rest of them had like limbs, like arms.
Well, to be honest, though, as soon as you do catch a fish, you cut its head off. And then you fill it up.
I was like, oh my God. So I've slowly tried to like pick them all up, and I've taken them up to the counter. She's like, oh, do you want to buy them? I was like, well, not exactly, but I'll pay for them, like, obviously, because there's so many. And they were like, oh my God. And then they were like, oh, that's going to be so much. They're like $14, $15 each. And I was like, oh, what am I going to do? This is a very expensive jetty ride.
Yes.
And then they ended up giving me like cost price. I think it worked out to be like $70-something.
That's nice.
And I was just like,
$70 of broken mermaids.
Some beheaded mermaids.
Yeah, I took 2 home that still had their heads attached, so missing an arm, just so I can show her what she did.
Yes, you took 2 of them home.
That's very funny.
Can I just say, I think it's so great as well that your partner was over there looking at magnets. Isn't it so funny the things you do when you're on a break?
Yeah, exactly.
Looking at magnets.
I mean, you want to,
magnet.
memorialise the trip. Oh, great. Thanks, Mel. Kim's in Golden Bay. Hello.
Morning.
Hey, Kim.
Hey, Kim. What have you got for us?
Well, this story is my mum. She was babysitting my 2 boys and they were quite young at the time. And she was out shopping for a gift for a friend of hers. And they walked past dusk. So Mum said, oh, we'll pop in here. And she stood out the front of the shop giving the boys a lecture about don't touch anything, keep your hands to yourself. Everything's very gentle, like precious in here. It's easily breakable. And then she thought to herself, no, you know what I'll do? I'll put them in the trolley. So she picked both the kids up, put them in the trolley, walked straight into dusk and slammed into the first display in the doorway. So she was absolutely mortified.
And what was the display of? Was it all like ceramic candle holders and stuff?
It was all candles. It was glass. It was a proper like island, one of the little islands that they have.
Yes, I know exactly what you mean.
She just looked up, and my oldest boy said, Nana, you told us not to break anything.
Yes.
And she was absolutely mortified, but thankfully the lady just sort of said, it's okay, like this actually happens all the time.
That's nice.
But Mum said there was so many candles on the floor and so much breakage. She was so embarrassed.
And at least with a candle they can melt it down and start again.
You got to understand, the people that work at candle shops, they're chill.
That's true.
But they've got so many
all
different
that
rooms.
Lavender.
You know what I mean? Like, they are just like ready
all
to
that
pass
lang
out. Yeah, so well, most of us like put a candle, turn a candle on, light a candle to relax at home. They're around that all day.
All day. So you're right. They are chilled. Thank you, Kim.
Nathan, Nat, and Sean. Podcast.
What time did you get to bed last night?
Oh, late, because I had to submit my STM column and I
Didn't do homework.
And I was tired, and so it made writing it even
I know,
slower.
that's the worst.
It was like walking through treacle.
Can't even send a text after 9.
So late is the answer. Too late.
Yeah. I was wanting to get to bed at a decent hour, but I tell you what, peak Maylands last night. Peak Maylands. Unbelievable. I end up waking up, probably I fell asleep for about 15 minutes and then I end up waking up to yelling, a lot of yelling. 3 men. 3 men having
And a baby? Or no?
No, the baby would have made it a little bit interesting. These guys were having a guttural argument outside of my place. Then they took it down the driveway.
The driveway of your building?
Of our building. And then they went up a little bit. And then
what were they arguing about?
I don't know, because it seemed like it may have been drunkenly fueled, because there was a lot of just slurring of words and stuff. They were having a full-blown argument. I went out to the front then, because it was getting so loud. I thought, wait there, what is this? Because it wasn't stopping. And then I sort of peeked out there, and then one's nearly looked at me and like shut down, because you don't want to get anyone's attention in my experience of living in Maylands, because if you do, like one time a guy threw a brick at another guy on a bike just out front of my house, and I was on the balcony and I saw it, and I went, oh! And I went like that and reacted. And the guy that threw the brick looked up at me and just pointed at me and went, ah! And screamed. So I ducked. And then the next minute, all he would have seen on the balcony is we would have seen the top of my balcony door open up and close.
Yes. As your commando crawling.
I crawled back into the apartment for safety. Because I thought, you can throw a brick at me.
Yes.
Yeah, so
and
anyway.
there's just bricks lying around everywhere.
Then one just fell to the ground screaming, crying, you know, that guttural. Ah.
Oh.
This went for about 40 minutes.
He's had a rough day, hasn't he?
40 minutes. My thing is...
On a Tuesday night as well.
A Tuesday night.
Nathan, Tuesday night.
It's a Tuesday night. What are you doing? I'm in bed.
Saturday night behaviour.
Home.
Maybe Sunday night when it's a long weekend. But
I know that whatever's happening, you're a bit upset, but get up. Don't cry there.
Or cry quietly, very quietly.
Do you
so have you not heard of silent sobbing?
Do your 9:30 crying. 9:30 p.m. outside of someone's house. Do that crying. That's the 9:30 crying.
A tiny whimper. Nothing guttural.
So take your crying to your own street.
Or house.
Or your house. Which you should be in, because it's Tuesday night.
Tuesday night at 9:30.
Oh, anyway, Maylands, mate. Maylands. Anyway, I survived the night.
So how the property price is looking?
Hey, look, we're actually doing pretty well. Pretty well.
Good time.
Bullets don't frighten.
Nathan, Nat and Shaun is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcasts.com.au. Nova.